Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ben Zone here on the Ben Zone. Here it's live here on Facebook and also on YouTube. If you want to catch the show on YouTube, here is the link right there at Ben Cornet 9015. So yeah, let's put that right there for anybody who wants to watch it on YouTube. You can watch it on your phone, you can watch it on your TV, your tablet, your computer. Um, And you can even come on StreamYard live. You can on the StreamYard, hop on, show your face, or just show do the audio. Doesn't matter. We'd love to have guests on here. So yeah, that's the link right there. Um, Happy post Thanksgiving here in America, in the States. I hope everybody had a good holiday yesterday. I know I did. Just chilled, ate a lot, and yeah, I'm pretty full, pretty stuffed. But I'm here. As you can see, I got a nice little background here. um, I don't know. I just thought it'd be cool to add a little background. Las Vegas, so it's where I live. Why not? So anyway, let's get into it. Tonight's show, we're going to talk about the Bucs and Browns preview because we've got a lot of Bucs fans on the Ben Zone. We also going to discuss some other games too in the NFL. And anything you guys want to talk about. I did put down a topic tonight. Maybe we'll save it toward the end of the show. But for the wrestling fans out there, we could talk about the WWE Survivor Series War Games, which is tomorrow night on Peacock. So any wrestling fans out there want to talk about that, be glad to. But we'll save that for later on. But hopefully we'll have some guests on. Supposed to have a couple guests, but they'll be in a little bit or as soon as they can. So that's fine. So let's get started. Tonight we're gonna go with the Bucs Browns matchup. Um, as you know, the Bucs came off a bye week. They last played 2 weeks ago in Germany against the Seattle Seahawks. They got the win. They're 5-5, first place in the division so far. It's a tight division. The Atlanta Falcons are just a half game behind. And we go into this game going up against the Cleveland Browns, out of conference game. So far this year, we are, I believe, 0-2 against the AFC North. We did lose to Baltimore, and we did lose to Pittsburgh. So playing the AFC North has not been kind for us. And hopefully this time around we can get a win against one of these teams. Right now it's currently listed the Bucs are 3.5-point favorites. If you're betting, the over-under is 42. So interesting. It kind of makes sense because these teams, both the Bucs, they average 18 points a game. Browns average 24 points a game. So you could see this game pretty much go maybe either way because, again, Bucs are 0-2 so far against the AFC North. They're on the road, and this is a team in the Cleveland Browns where one of the weaknesses of the Bucs this year, and it didn't used to be, but it has been so far, is the run defense. And for the Browns, they average 150 yards a game rushing. Now that's because they have a great running back in Nick Chubb, also Kareem Hunt. We have struggled all year. Last week or last game we controlled Kenneth Walker III, so that was a good sign. We finally got our run defense, to get it going and not allow a guy like Kenneth Walker to run all over us. But before that, we have let everybody run all over us. And, obviously the front line hasn't been as strong as it's been in recent years. That leads me to the injury report now for Villa, who is been hurt all week. He hasn't really practiced. Um, they're listing him as questionable. Now, I do think he's going to try and give it a go. And, you know, just having him out there, I think would be really, really helpful. You know, I know we got Hakeem Hicks, um, but in case Villa can't go, it's going to be harder for this team to stop the run, you know, and that's the biggest fear. If we don't have Villa, we could be in for a long day. Now, if we do have him, could be limited, but at the same time, I would rather have a limited Vita Vea than a Via Vea in street clothes. So the key for the Bucs in this game is they got to run the football. They got to stop the run, and also they got to run the football, which I'll get to in a minute. But stopping the run is huge, you know, especially in this game. We got to do what we did against Seattle. We got to make uh, the quarterback Jacoby Brissett. We got to make him throw the ball. You know, he's a decent passer, but you know, at times he struggles against the blitz. That's a Bucs specialty. They like to blitz a lot. You know, evident by what Todd Bowles does. You know, disguises those blitzes, and yeah. So if we can get Brissett to throw the ball more and contain Chubb, you know, I'm not saying we're going to totally shut down Nick Chubb, but if we can keep him from getting more than 50 yards, I think right there that would be a win for this Bucs team. You know, because that'll also help the offense. You know, get going. You know, with the Browns, like I always say, running the ball, you know, equals to time of possession. And if the Browns run the ball consistently and keep the Bucs offense on the sidelines, that could be trouble for the Bucs. So we got to stop the run, get pressure on Jacoby Brissett, and get a lead early. You know, because the Browns, their offense is really not built to come back in games. They rely on the run a lot, and time of possession. They like to score early. Um, so if we can control the ball, control the clock, the Bucs offense, which we're talented enough to, we should be able to, you know, get out of Cleveland with a win. It won't be easy. It'll be a close score. I predict a close game. I'm going to go probably 24-20. That would be my prediction. Again, it's a road game. Cleveland's a tough place to play. And really, Tom Brady hasn't always done well in Cleveland, too. I think he doesn't have the best record there with his time with New England. So it's always been a tough place. But like I said, if we do those things that I mentioned earlier, we should be able to get out with the win. I'll get to the key injuries. Bucs so far have two guys out. Russell Gage, he's got a hamstring injury. He's out. Um, Also, Luke Radecki, he's out as well, our offensive tackle. He's got a foot injury, so he'll miss another game. Um, Now, Leonard Fournette is listed as doubtful with the hip injury. Usually, when they're listed as doubtful, most of the time pretty much means they're not going to play. So, with that being said, as far as the Bucs rushing attack, which hasn't always been the greatest this year, you know, in fact, we only average over 70 yards rushing a game. So not having Leonard Fournette out there is, if he's not if he's not available to play, he could be missed very much, and it put a lot of pressure on Rashad White. You know, we're going to see Keyshawn Vaughn probably get more carries as well. So hopefully Leonard can try and give it a go, but if not, we may have to rely on the pass game to help us out. So let's hope that Leonard Fournette can give it a go, but if not, this is going to be the Rashad White show. And so far this year, he's done well. And, you know, can he handle it? I think he can. But again, it's going to be a tall task. He's going to be out there the majority of the game. So this could be a very, very tough situation for us, on the offensive side of the ball. Because again, we got to have balance on the offense. I talk about that all the time. So, if we don't have a great running game, our passing game, could take a hit. So we'll see what happens there. Those are my keys to the game. And the Browns, the only guy they got out on their injury list is Greg Newsome, cornerback for in their defensive backfield. He's out with a concussion. So that'll be one less defensive back we got to worry about. We got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. They're going to be they should do fine. They should get their catches. But again, our run game is going to have to help our offense, our passing games. So hopefully Shad White can carry the load should Fournette not be available. Same with Keyshawn Vaughn. Hopefully he can get a few reps, see if he can make a difference, get some contributions from everybody. That would be really helpful, at least for this game. So, all right. Well, with that being said, we got a guest coming in the house right now. Let me bring him in. He is everybody's favorite sailor, and he's your friend and mine. Ladies and gentlemen, he is Mr. That is very nice gesture. Out of his cup. Mr. Alec Schomburg. Alec, welcome to the Ben Zone, bud. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you, Ben?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm here in Las Vegas, as you know. I thought I'd try something different, and so far
that's the screen.
That's the screen, man. Vegas. I got to represent the city. I'm in Florida State garb, but I'm in my home.
I see Derek Carr's house from here.
Yeah, it's like kind of all the way down. I think it's on that side. Like,
wasn't Henry Ruggs' accent right? Oh, no, I was too soon. Never mind.
Ooh, damn. You're bringing it now. You're lucky we're late light. We're in the late night stages here, so
yeah, it's a show. They're recording real quick.
I know. Anyway, Alec, I talked about the matchup, the Bucs and Browns. What are your thoughts on this game coming up Sunday?
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's more so stopping the run, just like they did with Kenneth Walker. You gotta leave Jacoby Brissett one-dimensional. So, in my opinion, as long as if they say the same game plan as last week, I could see them keeping the game close. I saw Sean Spencer's comment.
Did you?
Oh,
we'll get some comments in a minute, but so yeah, pretty much what I said. We got to stop the run because again, Nick Chubb is one of the best running backs in the league. Also, that's pretty much their whole offense because Brissett, while he's a decent quarterback, like Geno Smith, if you can get to those guys like we did 2 weeks ago in Germany, you put a lot of pressure, make a Brissett throw the ball more. He gets in a lot of trouble. So that's another key to the Bucs defense. Now, I mentioned earlier, Vias might be out. He might be. We're not sure yet. So if he is,
so far it's Hideki and Russell Gage.
Yeah, and then Leonard Fournette's doubtful. So
hopefully turn the TV down. I want to.
But if ooh.
No, I want the TV to have.
Yeah. So anyway, like if Vita Vea is not available, how much is that going to hurt the Bucs defense?
I'm kind of like 50-50 on that.
Okay.
Because it's like, oh, I don't know how to respond to that because I never really seen us play in that position or in that situation without Vea.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I honestly don't know. I really don't know that one. That's a tough question.
Yeah, again, it's one of those things where, again, this year, we've been struggling with the run, even with Vea in there. Now, not having him could hurt even more. So, because and now even if he and he's good, but he's not Via. So there could be a this could be a tough game for him. So I'm just saying, like, yeah, if we don't have him, that could even hurt more. But I think he's going to give it a go. Myself, he's a tough dude. He'll play through it. Won't be easy, but you know, because next week we're going to have an extra day off because of the Monday night game against the Saints. So they'll probably limit his Via's snap count. But I'd rather have a limited Via than not have him at all. What do you think?
I mean, you got to think of that long term because say like you say he plays in that game, what's to say that it gets worse from there? Not saying not saying it could happen. Because I wish nothing bad on people, but I'm pretty sure being cautious because they don't want another situation like Ryan Jensen. They didn't really know he was really injured until it actually happened. I feel like they kind of rest in that game because it's like you got to think long term instead of short term.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. I don't disagree with that. But we all know Via's a tough dude. He wants to play, and you got to think the coaches have to consider that. Take that into consideration. So we'll see what happens there. But I mean, regardless, we're going to be in for a tough game. Cleveland, colder weather. We'll see what happens, man. This should be an interesting game for sure. Do you have a prediction on this game?
I have it 27-20 Bucs.
27-20 Bucs. You heard that from Alex Schomburg. And speaking of, we're going to hear from another person right now. Let's bring him in. He's one of my favorites. He's a little above you on the favorite list. Alec, no offense. Just kidding. I don't play favorites. Come on. Well, maybe. But he is a favorite of mine. He is Mr. Fingers himself, Anthony Handy. Anthony, welcome to the Ben Zone. How you doing tonight?
I'm pretty tired. My voice is trying to go out on me, but I haven't done a show 2 hours long in quite some time.
Oh
We
wow! And then
just
you come here.
we just finished up. I just stopped by to say hey, and
Okay.
I stopped by to say hey, and then bloop, there was the link, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm not gonna be rude. It's an invitation. These is nice peoples. I'm gonna come by and say hello.
Well,
I see your Knowles are up by a touchdown right now with about 4 minutes
yes,
left to go.
yes. We just scored. Yeah. I think it was Benson that scored the touchdown. So we're up 45-38. Still a long way. Florida got the offense. Anthony Robinson, he's a quarterback that can come back and hit you right away. So hopefully we
Yeah,
can stop that game.
his biggest thing though is he's bomb. When he's on. But
Yeah,
when he goofs, he goofs real big.
he's on the night. And that's the thing. So we were hoping he wouldn't be on tonight, but
Oh, he was like you didn't know which one you were gonna get. You know if you was gonna get the
yeah.
real Santa Claus or the great value Walmart Santa Claus version. So
Oh, there you go.
it look like you got the full ho 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 going on right now.
Yes, and I like Christmas too, so I don't like making that comparison with the Florida
I'm
game.
just saying, man. I didn't,
I know, I know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So, Anthony, why we got you here, man? Let's talk about the Falcons and Commanders real quick. This is an interesting game. Falcons are just a half game behind us, the Bucs.
yeah.
You're on the tail, and the Commanders are, having a good winning streak going, 6-5. This is in Washington. What are your thoughts on this matchup?
I think that this is going to be a great matchup. I don't think it's going to be quite as electric as what's going on right now between the Sunshine State in-state rivals right now. But I definitely think it's going to be a great game. I think it's probably going to wind up being a close game. I think this one is probably going to come down to a walk-off, and I think a walk-off field goal. And if we have the ball, I'm more than confident that young Q Hope, whatever the boy's name is. I'm sorry, I don't mean to disrespect his name. It's just I've seen it misspelled several different ways, so I had to go back. I'm not pulling up the website to find out how to pronounce your name, Mr. Kicker from Atlanta. We appreciate you, seriously, sir. I mean no disrespect. Anyway, I think that he's very capable, and I think he'll get the job done. Sean and I had a little fun roasting each other earlier. You go back and take a good look at that, but I think it's going to be a close game. I think Atlanta wins in a close one. That's where I'm going with that.
Okay, well, I like that one. That's a very.
I don't think any team. I don't think either team gets over about 25, but that's where I'm about putting it. I don't know what's the over under for the game. Anybody know?
You know what? I'm gonna have to take a look at that real quick. Hold on 1 second. Let's see.
That's a nice background, huh? You got
Oh
going
yes.
on there.
Well, I live in Las Vegas. I'm like, why not? Let's do
Hey,
it. Let's do something different. Let's
yeah.
try and bring in more viewers. Let's see. 1 second, Anthony. I'm just gonna get to that.
No rush, sir. No rush, sir. While you looking that up, Alec, how are you this evening, sir? Good to see you. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
Oh, appreciate it. Hope you have a good one too.
So they got Washington 4.5-point favorites.
I think the over under.
The over under. Let's see.
I think it's like 40 something.
It is 40.5.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, as I called it, because both teams have the potential to be able to score those points. We know both teams have the talent on the roster. We just really haven't seen it yet. So that's why I say, but neither team's going to get over 25. I could easily see this being 22 to 21 to 24 or something like that. That kind of a game.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a fun game. I really do. Out of all the matchups, just because both teams are kind of on a roll right now, and again, the division, believe it or not, is still winnable for the Falcons. So they got a lot to play for, and the Commanders, they're in the playoff hunt as well. So it is
definitely. As a matter. Yeah, I think the Commanders are first or second out right now, right?
No, I think they're the last ones in. I believe. I think.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they're like if the playoffs started today, they would be the first team outside of the wild card. Like the first team, like the 4 division winners, and 3 wild card. Yeah, so they would be 8.
Yeah, and there's 7 teams that make the playoffs. So you got one top seed, which would be Philly, and they have the bye. And then you got the 3 division winners, and right now I believe. Maybe Alec can look it up for us. The playoff standings.
You think Philly's gonna be able to hold on to that first round bye? I think somebody's gonna get them. I don't think they drop. I don't think they drop more than 3, but I think somebody else is gonna get them before the season's over. Regular season's over. I just don't know who.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, Minnesota, they did win last night, so they're still right on their coattails, but
and Minnesota finally Kirk Cousins breaking that primetime curse.
Yes, thanks to Hunter Henry's questionable drop pass in the end zone that ended up. So, I'm sure Kurt will give him a Christmas card in the mail. So yeah, it'll be interesting. But Philly did beat Minnesota earlier in the season, so they do have that tiebreaker advantage. So
what am I looking up again?
Oh, I was just going to say what the standings were in the NFC playoff picture right now. Yeah.
Playoff.
Yeah, matter of fact, I think the Commanders are 8 and the Falcons are 9, if I remember correctly.
The Bill Chiefs are number 1 seed. Wait, the NFC or AFC?
NFC.
Excuse me. Eagles are 9-1, so they're number 1. You got 2 is the Vikings, 9-2. Number 3 is the San Francisco 49ers because they win early in the division. Number 4 is Tampa Bay, 5-5. 5th seed is Dallas at 8-3. And then you got the 5th seed, Dallas Cowboys at 8-3. 6th seed, Giants 7-4. I think it goes to like 7, right? It's 7 teams.
Yeah, but who's 8 and 9 is what we're trying to find out.
Oh, 8 and 9?
Yeah.
8 is Washington at 6-5, and 9 is Atlanta at 5-6.
See right
Yeah,
there.
I just saw it. I saw it earlier today. That's where I thought they were. So Atlanta
game.
and Washington are both right there, and this game is a very important game for both squads, and
Yes.
I see them coming out and playing. Honestly, it's going to go one of two ways. It's going to be a really hard fought, clean game, or it's going to be one of those games where, or it's going to be a hard fought, clean game, and somebody's going to make a craptastic mistake, like in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left to go. That's going to basically hand the game over, like Ole Miss trying to shovel pass from the 2-yard line to convert for 2 last night. I didn't, not that I saw it. I just maybe heard about it on the radio this morning. I saw that and I was like, oh my God, what were they thinking? But anyway.
Real quick, Anthony, what's that word? Craptastic? I'm going to use that.
Did anyone else think it had anything to do with all the DW talk and steamers and all that with Cleveland? Did that fit in there at all?
No, actually, you were the first one to break the seal on that this evening. No pun intended.
Speaking of, ladies, we got the Canadian. Wayne Gretzky wishes he was Canada's greatest export, but it is this man right here on the bottom here. Jason, hold your comments. This is Mr. Alex Loosemore. Alex, how you doing tonight, man?
Doing really good. Thanks for having me on. Excited to come on here and shoot the shit with you guys.
Hey, and he is my Alec, or co-host on the NFL edition every Thursday night, where it does get X-rated as well. So check
very quickly.
Yes. And while we got you here, Alex, you got a big game tomorrow.
Sorry, I just looked and saw the comments. Yeah. I'm sorry.
We'll get to those
I was in a private chat and I clicked over and I was like, oh.
I did the same thing.
There he is.
All right, here we go, man.
Don't make me do this.
Again.
On my show, we're going to talk about Michigan, and you know what? I'm a little angry right now. I do not see khakis on you.
I don't. No, I didn't lie. I just had to delay it because my fat ass doesn't fit into any of the khakis that are in any Walmart or any other freaking store around here that sells khakis.
Wait. If I remember, we made this 3 months ago, right? It was like 3 months ago?
Thank you, yes. It was on record, yes.
If it was the other way around, it gave me shit, so it was the other way around.
And here's my answer to that. When I made the bet, I had khakis that fit. They no longer fit.
Well, lay off the Tim Hortons.
I don't actually eat Tim Hortons that much, but it's actually in the other direction. But
ooh, well, we're gonna get a few more comments from Hammy and Jake.
Yep.
Don't worry, you'll fit in khakis soon. You're gonna be wearing them on the show.
Yeah, let's come back in. So, go ahead, Alex. What were you gonna say? I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I do still plan on honoring that bet. That is going to happen. It's just a matter of when. As far as
this shit's so gross.
Game, we got to do it. Alex.
I talked to my mom about this game, and she's like, "I have no comment." I was like, "What? Why?" She was like, "She hung up on me." I was like, "Okay."
Okay. Well, I'm kind of half-ass joking when I say this, but what's the weather in Columbus tomorrow?
Supposed to be about 50s with a little brisk wind.
Damn it! I was hoping for rain or snow or something ugly.
Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty nice. And then the next thing for me is, it relies a lot on the health of some very key players on both sides of the field for me. Obviously, the running backs Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards for Michigan. I do expect both of them to play. I expect Mike Morris, our edge rusher, to play. Trevor Keegan, our left guard. Like, we had a lot of key players out last week that I do expect to play this week. As far as Ohio State goes, I haven't checked yet if Jackson Smith and Jigba's playing, but that would be a huge player for them to get back. They were also missing their top two running backs in Travion Henderson and Mayan Williams. It sounded like they were both being held. Well, Mayan Williams, it sounded like he was being held out to be healthy for this game, so I expect to see him tomorrow. Travion Henderson played last week against Maryland, but didn't play much. He got pulled pretty early. I think he tweaked something again, so we'll see if he's playing tomorrow. As much as I want to pick us to win, I think we cover the 8-point spread. I think the 8-point spread's a little ridiculous. But right now, if there was a gun to my head, I'd probably say Ohio State by a field goal.
Yeah, I do like what you're saying. I would go with Michigan and the points here, just because I think it's going to be a lot closer. Rivalry games usually a lot closer. And the thing is, it depends on the health of the running backs too. Like you said, Corum, he's going to go. This is a big game. He's not going to.
I expect him to dress and play, but it's what Blake Corum are we getting? Are we getting the fully healthy Blake Corum? Like, what was that knee injury is more what I'm wondering with it. Like, what percentage of Blake Corum are we really getting?
Well, it's better than 0% of Blake Corum.
Because we saw that last week.
Yes, absolutely. And again, they barely beat Illinois. They pulled it out, but they got it.
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
Everyone's talking about how we barely beat Illinois. I'd just like to throw out that if you look at pretty much every defensive category, and I'll add the other team since his team is in here, if you look at the majority of defensive categories, in the top 3 is Michigan, Georgia, and Illinois in no particular order. So Illinois' defense has been very freaking good this year. I compare them a lot to what we were 2 years ago, where it's a very good defense that's building. You've got that really good running back and not much else. And then I think they're a year or two away from becoming a very dangerous football team.
Yeah, Brett Bielema's done a great job with that program. Yep. Now, they do have some players that are probably going to be leaving after this year because of graduation and maybe the draft, but he's built a good foundation there. So that could be a good team for years to come. I do agree with you. Well, thanks for the info on that, Alex. Let's go around. Let's get some scores on this game because this is going to probably be the college game of the week. I'll start off and I'll say that I'm going to go Michigan. I think they can pull this off. I'm going.
I hope so.
27-24. That's my prediction on that game. How about you? Nope.
I'm taking Michigan. I take Ohio. It's split. Alex knows what I mean by I'm taking Michigan. I'm taking Ohio State to win by 3, but their spread's at 7, so I'm taking their spread.
Okay, that's good. Anthony, who do you think wins this game?
Man, this is going to be a tough one. You're talking, the Gators just turned the ball over on downs inside the FSU 30-yard line. I think that's going to be it.
Oh, that's the game.
Yes.
Yeah. They had 3rd and 5 at the 21, and then I guess it must have gotten a false start because I didn't have the game up. I was just watching the Google thing. It went from 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 12, so I'm guessing there was a false start there. They couldn't get anything else out of that. So anyway, back to this game. One thing that we have seen over time, especially in the last couple of years, home field advantage means a lot. Last year they played at the Big House, and you see the crowd noise behind them. So I think that Michigan can win this, but it's not. I think that Michigan can win it, but I don't think if they win, it's going to be a blowout. This is also going to be this is going to be a squeak. It's going to be no more than 5 if Michigan wins, and both ways. I don't think either team is going to blow the other one out. I think they're going to. That's part of the problem with not to get off the subject here, but that's part of the problem with Michigan and Ohio State is they save everything for this game. They beat the hell out of each other on this game, and then guess what they got to do next week? Conference championship.
Ooh, yes.
So
okay, that's okay. So Anthony has Ohio State, I assume.
No, I'm saying Michigan in a squeaker.
All right, look at that. Me and Anthony got Michigan. Let's bring it into this dude. Let's put the pressure on. Go ahead, give us your prediction.
While you guys were making your picks, I looked at some injury updates. It sounds like Jackson Smith and Jigba is not going to be available tomorrow.
Ooh.
I didn't get a chance to see on the running backs. I am changing my pick, though. I'm going these guys here. I'm going to say Michigan. I will go 30-27.
30-27. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I got 27-24. Yeah. Go ahead, Anthony.
Me not being able to follow them like that, is he their number one receiver?
Well, he was their number one receiver last year, and he was guaranteed top 5 pick going into this year, and then he got hurt in the Notre Dame game week 1, and then he tried to come back against Iowa like a month later and re-aggravated it. And then Ryan Day was asked last week about his chances to come back this year, and Ryan Day was less than enthusiastic, I'll put it that way. It did not sound promising. I'm going to check on the running backs here quick. I would assume Travion Henderson is playing, but we'll see.
Now, what Alex looks at that? Let's not ignore our viewers. Let's get to our comments.
Yeah, but quite a few.
Yeah, that Michigan 7.5 is just nothing's free. But me and Sid are taking that shit. I don't care.
Jason Swade, thank you for views coming on, bud. Says hi. I'm ready to get on the Ben Zone. Yeah, you're already on.
He don't want to go on. He doesn't want on the Ben Zone. He wants in the Ben Zone. Let's just go ahead and call it what it is.
Well, only if you can find me. Jason says,
that's not a no. Actually, I just realized that that's not a no.
I'm just kidding. Will my sailor be on? He's been ignoring my text all day. Oh, there he is. Right there. Why are you ignoring him, Alec? Come on, be nice.
Man, come on. You know Alec got that. You know Alec got that Boost Mobile. It don't work outside of a 4 block radius of the crib. I know that's a true story. I had Boost Mobile at one point. I was so broke. You know, you got to really be broke, and you can't afford $50 a month for a prepaid cell phone, and you get about 3 blocks away from the Boost Mobile store, and the phone started. You be like, "Yeah, girl, I have you come over tonight." She be like, "Yeah, so what you?"
Your minutes are up. You used all your minutes.
Right. Hey, call me back after 7 o'clock when the minute's free.
Yeah. Corey King Brown, thank you for joining in. He says, "Go Florida Gators for a win." Now they lost tonight. 4 straight wins over Florida State. Not anymore. Florida State wins 45-38. We break that streak. I am so glad. I'm tired of losing to the Gators. Okay, this is from earlier, 38-38. Well, it becomes 45-38. Sean Spencer, thanks for joining in, bud. Haha, woo, Alec Schomburg, lots of laugh too soon. Okay.
That was for the Henry Ruggs.
Oh, yes.
I was like, that's where the accident happened, like back there.
Yeah, right on down there on Trop in Rainbow. Jason says, "Oh, yeah, he is here. Hi, Snuggle Muffin. Is that your nickname?"
I think he's I think Alex been ignoring him, so he's trying to talk to me.
No, Anthony, I know this guy. I know him pretty. You know,
that guy's an asshole.
Oh, come on.
I ain't never liked him. I seen him one time doing a Cat Williams impersonation. It sounded nothing like Cat Williams. It sounded like my grandmother.
Oh, okay. All right. Was
that a fart? What the hell was that?
All right, who let one?
That was Alec.
That was, oh my God.
Was that really a fart? Like, did you really fart,
no,
bro?
I wasn't. I was trying to hold the laugh.
I was gonna say, dude, you might want to go ahead and just cut your mic, cut your camera, and go check your drawers after that.
Well,
that did not sound clean.
Finger me, Mr. Fingers. Oh, okay. Well, from the sound just a couple seconds ago, I think he was fingering somebody else. All right, Sean Spencer. I got his name. 27-24.
Son of a bitch.
My mama said I can't play with y'all no more.
Yes, we are live, everybody. Anything can happen. Sean Spencer says, "I got us winning 27-24. Well, I do got the Commanders winning as well. I'm sorry, Anthony.
Yep.
Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on. Oh, that hurt.
To me, it was the fact that Washington's the home team. Honestly, like, I think if you guys were the home team, I would have picked you guys.
You're 1 game out behind Seattle. Okay.
For that last wildcard spot, yeah.
Washington already got him. Okay. Andrew, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Go Gators. Yeah, they can go back to Gainesville. We beat 45-38. Sean says, Ben, our bet is still on. Our bet? What are you talking about, Sean? You
Something
gotta,
about the there's something like the North Carolina Tar Heels, something like that. Were you wearing a
Yeah,
sweater?
so
okay, go ahead.
yeah, it was the one where if North Carolina wins the ACC championship, then he's going to send you some North Carolina gear
Oh,
that you have to
okay.
wear for a show.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes, I apologize, Sean. Yes, yeah. If they can beat Clemson, which a week ago I would have said yeah, but now these last two games, these were nail biters, and I don't know
Oh, by
now.
the way, Alex, I took that thing you suggested the other night, the Notre Dame shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that. Notre Dame and USC. That's probably the other big matchup, college football tomorrow night.
I'm
This
just
is
gonna
gonna-
combine
Yeah.
it. I'm just gonna combine it with other stuff, so I'm not putting a lot of money on all of it. So
Okay, what do you guys think? Who do you think wins this game? I'll start with you, Mr. Deucemore.
I got Notre Dame. To me, this is the perfect matchup for USC to lose. It's a team that runs the ball very well in Notre Dame. That offensive line is on a roll now.
Yeah.
They're moving guys at the line of scrimmage, making it very easy for the running backs to find those holes. And the defense is playing very well. I believe I heard something the other day. They went from scoring 24, 25 points a game in those first 3-4 games where they really struggled to now, since week 6, they're up over 40 points a game.
Yeah.
So they're going to have the offensive scoring to match USC. But here's where USC is going to struggle is that defense is really good when the teams are passing like crazy and they can just pin their ears back and rush the passer. They're not very good against the run because they're small, they're athletic, they're agile, but they can get manhandled pretty easily. Utah ran up and down the field on them, and that's how they stole that game. I don't expect Notre Dame to run away with this game, but I expect Notre Dame to win within a touchdown. I'll give 3 points. I'll go by field goal.
Okay. Mr. Schomburg, who do you like in this game? Notre Dame or USC?
I mean, being a Pac-12 fan, I'm gonna have to lean towards Notre Dame because fuck USC and everything they stand for. But I have it
Wow.
33-30 Notre Dame because fuck
Okay.
USC and everything they stand for.
Alex is usually not this dirty, but on the air.
I'm sorry. I really hate USC and most teams in Pac-12. Bums.
I still consider USC a fraud, just saying.
Okay. Mr. Fingers, who do you think wins this game, Notre Dame or USC?
I'm giving the game to Notre Dame. I didn't intend for that to rhyme. You missed a very epic freestyle roast at the end of
that was funny as
NSD,
hell.
by the way.
Did I? Oh,
yeah.
Sean took a shot at him for the Falcons,
Sean
so
tried.
he went at him.
Oh man, yeah. I'll let you go back and check that out. But I think that Notre Dame is a team that has everything to prove. The question was asked when Brian Kelly left, because Brian Kelly was a great coach. Even though Brian Kelly couldn't get over the hump, he was a good coach for them. Did great things with that program. And Marcus Freeman, unproven as a head coach, so there's all the questions. Can Marcus Freeman do like? Can he do this? Can he do that? And what's going to happen in the wake of? And they stumbled a little bit coming out of the gate. But that toddler, sorry chip eating Chris. I said the word toddler. I didn't want to make sure, just in case you see this, I don't want you to get mad or nothing. But that toddler has now gone from stumbling and bumbling to now at a full-on gallop, and they're doing some things. And like you said, this is a trap game for USC.
Mm-hmm.
You know, USC is only as good as their defense is, and their offense. They can make plays on offense, but the O-line is suspect. And it is not lost on me that the defensive coordinator that was at USC must have really sucked, because Alex Grinch was not great at Oklahoma. I firsthand listened to those games on the radio on Saturday riding around town, and how the fans are like, Alex Grinch has got to go. And I think Notre Dame offense goes down there and puts a little something on.
Okay. All right.
I won't say they put it on them like that, but I think this is going to be a game where we're going to see Caleb do a lot of that stuff that he does, where he dances around and runs a lot, because I don't think they're going to give him room to rest.
Okay, so you got Notre Dame. Gotcha. Now, again, this game is going to, like you said, Notre Dame's coming on, and I do like Marcus Freeman. I think he's going to just get better and better each year.
Oh, absolutely, Skip. Absolutely, Skip. I don't even know where I don't know where the man went to school. I don't know where the man went to school, but I like his spirit. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Kevin Hart. You know, he's not quite that big in stature, but you know, the students and the young men that play on that program and all the traditions and things like that, and the Newt Rockne and all of those things, they really respect him and what he has brought to the table. And I expect him to do great things this coming Saturday, which will be tomorrow. But you knew that already.
All right. Club Shay Shay in the house. Love it. All right. I'm going to put this on me for real quick, and I'm going to tell you something right now. It's no secret. I fucking hate Notre Dame. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know, the gold helmets, they think, you know, they live like 30 years in the past. They still think they're worth something. They're not. I like Marcus Freeman. But God damn it. I want USC to win this game just because I hate Notre Dame. Okay. I hate the movie Rudy. All right. They could have got a better actor than that little creep Sean Astin, but it's what it is. All right. And Marty McKnight, if you're our good friend, if you're watching out there, F them. Okay.
Agreed.
So thank you, Alec. So yeah, but having said all that, I hate to say it, but I think Notre Dame wins too. Because again, this is kind of that trap game for USC.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You went to that whole Bernie Mac. You ever seen the movie Don't Be a Menace to South Central while you drink your juice in the hood?
Yeah, I know.
You went through that whole speech when Bernie Mac was talking about, I hate black keys on the piano. I hate black pepper. I hate my gums because they're black. I hate the back and forth Whitaker's neck, Whoopi Goldberg's lips, and most of all, I hate that black ass Wesley Snipes. You went through that whole speech about Notre Dame, and he said, but I hate to say they go win. What the hell?
Well, I got to be honest. I got to think with my head here. My heart wants USC to do this, but in reality, Notre Dame's on a roll right now, and USC again defensively, they're bad, especially against the run. Alex mentioned. What does Notre Dame do? They run the ball well, and their tight end, which could be like the next Mark Andrews because he's that good. I mean, that's a little scary for a USC.
Mark Andrews is a perfect comparison for him.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer. No relation to John Mayer, but anyway, Michael Mayer. He could be the next popular mayor. Yeah, this is a very scary game for USC, and you know, a lot of pressure on them because a BCS, you know, top 4 bid may be on the line.
So, if USC absolutely controls their destiny here. If they win, they're in.
And that's a lot of pressure. So, yeah.
And I will say, I kind of agree with Joel Klatt on this one. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's a better player in college football right now than what Caleb Williams is doing. As much as I call USC frauds and shit on them every week, and me and Sean, when we pick our upsets, I look at USC and Clemson every week. Who are they playing? Can they beat them? So, but what Caleb Williams is doing with that team, that defense, and that offensive line is phenomenal. If they did an actual MVP for college football, I feel like he runs away with it. But they don't. But he's still one of the front runners for the Heisman, so he could easily get that. But
I was just getting ready to say they do. They call it the Heisman and they call it the.
But it's not an
MVP. But it's not. It's not.
I was gonna say it's an MVP, but it's not.
Because if it was an MVP, they wouldn't have to have the Biletnikoff Award and the Butkus Award and everything else.
Yeah,
they'd be spreading that love all the way around.
and the O'Brien and the all those trophies would be meaningless if you had your MVP. And Jason, no.
Oh, well,
You know, it's another game that people are not really looking at. South Carolina, Clemson.
Yep.
yeah, that's a pretty interesting.
I can see.
Yes.
Me personally, for anybody, don't take what I'm about to say and freaking run with it because I got complaints on Messenger saying I lost some money on stupid shit. It's fucking stupid as fuck. But I'm taking South Carolina right-wise because it's at 14.5. I feel like South Carolina is that team that you get Clemson at the right moment, they can keep it close. They do. I mean, everybody says Tennessee's falling off, but they scored a lot on Tennessee.
They beat the shit out of Tennessee.
So, what makes it say they can't beat against Clemson?
I got two things why they might not beat Clemson. One, Clemson's the home team. And two, which version of Spencer Rattler are we getting? Are we getting the Spencer Rattler that showed up and put 63 on Tennessee last week, or are we getting the Spencer Rattler we've seen for 2 years? Because that Spencer Rattler ain't doing shit against Clemson.
Right. I just want the Rattler that gets me 7.
if we get the Rattler that played last week, I can see SC running away with this game.
I just want the Rattler that keeps it within 10. That'd be fine.
Oh well, that I don't think that Rattler exists. I think it's one at one end of the spectrum.
Yeah, they're gonna win by 30 or lose by 30.
Listen, I'm just gonna tell you something. I've seen Spencer Rattler play for 2 different teams over the course of 3 seasons, and that is the absolute best performance that I have seen him put up in 3 years. I mean,
that's the best he's looked since high school.
He threw 6 touchdowns last week, and he hadn't thrown that many the entire rest of the season. Dude, what is this? This is their 12th game, right? So they played 10 other games before last week.
Got 14 touchdowns on the season.
He's got 14 touchdowns on the season. Okay, 8. He threw 8 touchdowns the previous other games and 6 in one game.
Yeah. You know, and I want to say real quick, he did transfer from Oklahoma. Do you think his confidence was rattled when he got transferred?
Unintended?
I'm just saying because, Caleb Williams came on. It just
it definitely was. It definitely was. You could see it. You could see it on his face on the sideline when he got benched in the game against Texas. He was having a really bad. He had a couple of shaky weeks leading up to Texas, and I think let's see, OU Texas. That's Red River rivalry. So that's their 2 big games: is Red River against Texas and Bedlam against Oklahoma State. He was shaky a couple of weeks before, but Lincoln Riley came out and said, "This is my guy. I got all faith in Spencer Rattler. He'll get the job done. Blah blah blah. We stand behind him 100%. Unless he has a performance like he does in the first couple of quarters. Hey, come here, sit down. Hey, Caleb, go play." And when Caleb went in, you could see it on his face. It took a couple of weeks for him. It took a couple of weeks for him to get adjusted to the fact that he wasn't on the sideline, that he wasn't playing anymore. Every time Caleb Williams would break out in a long run or throw a touchdown pass, they would immediately cut to his face and he would just be on the sideline, just grit. It hurt his spirit. People had been patting him on the back and telling him what a big swinging dick on campus he's been since he was like 8 years old. Like that kid they call Baby Gronk that's committed to his 3rd school in the last 2 years. He just committed to Tennessee yesterday. Like that's Spencer Rattler. That kid is going to be Spencer Rattler. He's going to show up at somebody's school and he's going to get his feelings hurt when he's not all that he thought that he's going to be. Like, let folks tell it he was going to be a 1st-round draft pick coming out of college this year. Now he'll be lucky if he gets to play on somebody's practice squad. He might be.
People had him penned as the 1st overall pick years ago. Yeah. People had him locked in as number 1 pick years ago.
Yeah, and I had to ask that because, like you said, Anthony, that game, and thank you for saying the Texas game because I saw that game. I remember specifically. Just it looked like he just was demoralized, and then it just seemed like carried, to South Carolina, where until this past week, we hadn't seen him play all that well, and it seemed like the expectations were, just not met, So yeah, that's interesting, and that's interesting, Alec. You said South Carolina because they They beat Tennessee handily, and now they go in. They'll have this confidence going in against Clemson. Anytime you blow out an opponent, you're always going to have this confidence, or you could be overconfident. Do you know where that team is? Is it in South Carolina or is it at Clemson?
Clemson's the home team.
Clemson's the whole team. Yeah, I got to go Clemson.
Yeah, if they were playing
South Carolina plus 14.
Yeah, they were playing. If they were playing Bryce Williams in South Carolina, I would be all in on South Carolina because the sandstorm and everything. I mean, they got one of the smallest stadiums in the conference, but man, those folks get hyped.
It's rocking every time they play there. It is. Yeah, it's one of those insane stadiums.
Yep. I'll say it again. Fuck USC. Fuck UCLA. Fuck
now, the one thing with Rattler is like with the Oklahoma situation, and I'll make it quite general because I can compare it to Michigan. You had Cade McNamara, who took you to the Big Ten championship game. He beat Ohio State for the first time in forever. Did everything that he did. But there's a 5-star quarterback sitting behind you that's stealing reps from you every game. And they're giving him more and more and more. And while you were good enough to do certain things, they see your limitations. And Spencer Rattler, coming out of high school, was a phenomenal quarterback, or so he was supposed to be. But when he got to college, he was very limited. And then you've got somebody like Caleb Williams, who's that big, that fast, that good an arm, that accurate. It's going to terrify you that he's your backup. So you're looking over your shoulder all the time instead of focusing on who am I playing this week? What do they do? How do I beat it? So, yeah, that's why you see this happen all the time, because instead of people focusing on their job, they're focused on the person behind them.
Yeah, I've said this. I've been saying this all season. Big fish, small pond. Mm-hmm. That's what a lot of these kids suffer from, especially at positions like quarterback and wide receiver. Big fish, small pond. You're the biggest fish in a pond full of small fishes, okay? And then you leave high school. It's just like people are talking about Arch Manning, and from what I understand, the league or conference or whatever it is that he plays in is some kind of private school league, and the teams in there are not even all that great, and even then sometimes he's struggling to get stats. Big fish, small pond. And then you leave high school, you go to college. Now you are the small fish in the big pond.
Yeah. SEC.
Because the talent pool is much larger, because they're not just looking for the best football. It's not just the best kids at your school that get picked from. It is from the best kids in the state, the best kids in the neighboring state, sometimes the best kids in the country, depending on how prestigious your program is. And you have to show up and compete. And if you don't get it done, then you need to sit your monkey ass down and let somebody do the job they can. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I showed up as a shift manager at McDonald's and Louis Anderson didn't know how to wash lettuce, I'm not going to promote him to fries.
Yep.
That was the Holy Ghost right there. Preach, brother.
I'm just saying. That's am I lying? But somebody tell me if I'm lying.
You are 100% telling the truth.
100%.
And I mean, he had that one great game. He had that one great game, and there'll probably be somebody that'll take a sniff at him in the draft if he declares, just because that one great game.
Yeah, he'll be a 5th-round pick, probably. Right for a practice.
Oh God, yeah. Johnny Manziel got drafted strictly off the fact that he beat Alabama, and then won the Heisman. I think he won the Heisman off the fact he beat Alabama.
Yeah.
Who's this is a weird question to ask. Who's Tennessee's backup quarterback?
Oh, wow. No idea.
That's a good question. Here, I'll find out for you.
This may or may not break what I'm about to pick right now.
Sean Spencer brings up a comment that could affect this game. Snoop Dogg just gave Caleb Williams a chain.
Ooh. His head better be focused on the game.
Did he give him a Corona as well? I don't know.
Just saying.
You say butt kiss? Okay. Great call on South Carolina Clemson tomorrow. Yeah. Should be an interesting game for sure.
Not saying South Carolina wins. I just say they possibly cover.
63.
Okay.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay.
Oh,
No.
Okay.
it's an old Michigan quarterback, Joe Milton.
Oh, okay. Joe Milton. 63
63
points, says Sean.
Is
Okay.
that what you're looking at for the spread, sir? That's a lot of points.
63
It's probably the
points.
over. It's probably the over. Because they
For
have
Clemson, Carolina? I don't know. I don't know about that. That's pretty
that's
high.
gonna
Well,
so run.
they may be basing that off
I
of
think
what they saw
63
last week.
points was when we were still talking about Rattler.
Gotcha.
No, because they have Vandy plus
Spencer
13
Rattler, please
plus
stand up.
420.
Yeah, Alec, were you talking about taking Vandy over Tennessee?
I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure. It's a Michigan quarterback.
So
I'll stay away
Milton's
from that shit. I'll stay away. I'm not
Milton
donating.
plays the same style of football as Hendon Hooker. He's obviously not nearly as good. They're really strong arm, really athletic. He struggles with accuracy though. That's why he was the starter before Cade McNamara, and that was the COVID year that McNamara took over for him partway through the season. Jason, no. He's extremely athletic, rocket arm, just not very accurate. That's the one knock I can give him, is quite inaccurate.
Okay.
So stay away. Gotcha. I'll just not.
Hey guys,
that
let's
shit.
go on to some other key matchups in the NFL. Let's switch gears. A lot of good games this week. I'll start with you, Mr. Loosemore. Which game are you looking most forward to in Week 12 of the NFL?
Well, it's weird because my Lions are already done, so I can just sit and watch other football games.
Yep.
Just looking at our picks here. Anthony and Sean's game is a very interesting one to me, Atlanta, Washington.
Yeah.
And not just because of the trash talk that happened on North Sports Dynasty. Just the matchup there I really like. But to me, I think the one I'm going to go with is a playoff rematch from last year in Cincinnati and Tennessee. These two teams are pretty much the same rosters as last year. If anything, Cincinnati's offensive line got worse. It sounds like Jamar Chase is going to play.
Derrick Henry didn't play.
Did you fart again, Alec?
Derrick Henry played in that playoff game.
No, he was injured. He wasn't fully healthy though.
He still played the entire game.
Hey, that's
that
motor.
But who's going to cover Jamar Chase or T. Higgins? That's where I'm going.
Jesus.
Word came out. Somebody's out for Cincinnati. Joe Mixon. He's out for the.
Joe Mixon, yeah. He missed last week too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Piron.
Yeah.
Who's serviceable. He's not anywhere near Joe Mixon.
He's doable.
Yeah.
That's fine.
To me, I like the passing offense of Cincinnati to give enough trouble to Tennessee, where hopefully you take Henry out of the game, which is what everyone tries to do. And then they let their foot off the gas and let Henry and the Titans come right back in, looking at you, Kansas City, and make it an interesting game again. But if Cincinnati just puts their foot on Tennessee's throat and just keeps throwing the ball, they'll run away with the game.
Wow. Okay. Mr.
You might have to pass on to the next person. I'm still thinking.
You're still thinking? Okay. I'll go to me. I think the Cincinnati Tennessee game, I'm with you, Alex, is very, very good matchup. Just because of the fact these two played in the division round last year, Cincinnati was able to beat Tennessee in Tennessee. Again, you make some very good points. I got to go Tennessee though. This again, I was debating this all week.
It's a very good game. Very close.
Debating it all week. But I just think Tennessee has that revenge factor, from last year, regular season game. And again, this is a chance for the Titans to pretty much secure the division. They're 7-3. The next team is the Colts. They might come on late, but we'll see. And again, as long as Tannehill plays good, does enough.
Yeah, he did not play well in that playoff game last year.
Yes. Well, the opening pass was an interception. That just changed the whole game. So if Tannehill can play good, not turn the ball over. They're going to win a close game. I would say I pick Tennessee to win. I'll go like 20-17 because the defense for the Titans is really good, especially their secondary. They can hold down guys like Jamar Chase. So I'm going Tennessee.
It's funny that you said
How about
that
you,
score because my
Yeah.
score prediction for that was 21-20 for Cincinnati. So it's funny that you
okay.
said 2017 for Tennessee.
Okay. Anthony, what do you think? What's your besides your game? What's another matchup do you think
Oh,
you'd be most
besides my
interested
game,
in seeing?
you didn't want me to talk
Yeah.
about my game no more.
Well,
I got some more bars. I see somebody in the comments chirping like that old T-Mobile two-way back in the day. But we
Get to 'em.
we go be kind. We go be kind. We go show grace today. We go show grace this time. Interesting matchups. Well, let's see.
You want me to go over the games?
What's that?
You want me to go over the games?
Hold on, I'm pulling them
We
up
got
right now.
okay. All right.
Well,
I think the one.
while you
never
pulling that while you pulling that one up, I'll go ahead and I'll give a short response to Mr. Spencer. He's been poking the bear for the last hour and a half or whatever, and I don't think I emptied the whole clip during the roast battle earlier. But I mean, since we play Sunday, if you want to continue this, you might could be like, hey, you want to come on the show Sunday? I look, I come on the show Sunday morning. Don't get me started. Anyway, go ahead. What you gonna say, man?
Oh, I said, well, first of all, let me get to this comment. Chris Cole, hey guys, how you doing? Chris, thank
What's
you for
up,
coming on
Chris?
tonight. I love having Chris Cole on the show. This dude is very knowledgeable, big fan of ours. He just brings it every week. So, Chris, thank you for coming on, watching, buddy. And
love having him in the comments.
Yeah, back to you, Mr. Handy.
People in hell want ice water too, Mr. Spencer. I'm just saying.
I haven't heard that one before. That's good.
Hungry people won't. Never mind. That's something my grandma would say. It's hungry people in China want a hot dog. Something stupid like that. Rest in peace, Big Mama. Gosh, I don't know. This is the one that I'm focused on. Not just because it's my team, but it's because it's my team in a position to jockey past Washington for the 8th spot. Because right now Washington is 8 and we are 9.
Yeah.
So this is a chance for us to jockey past Washington into the 8th slot, potentially maybe slide. Although the other 7 teams ahead of us, I don't know where we're going to slide in there at because I don't foresee them giving us much ground to make up. But yeah, that's my game of the week, and I've had a lot to say. I mean, I think Arthur Smith may have to put Desmond Ridder in a couple of sequences or whatever just to get some quick ball movement down the field, because that's my biggest concern is Mariota holding the ball too long. That has been my biggest complaint about Mariota all season. You hold the ball too long. Yes, we know you can run, but if you throw the ball, sometimes you won't have to run.
Well, it looks like Jason might make you run that comment.
I scared.
Anthony, you just mentioned a few minutes ago in the private chat that you need to go.
Yeah, fellas, I love hanging out with y'all. I appreciate y'all having me on, but I got to be up out of here. But thank you for having me on, ladies and gentlemen. The Ben Zone, my man Ben Cornett, he's getting this thing up and off the ground. If you enjoy what you're seeing, go ahead, smash that like button. Not a word out of you, Jason Wade. Go ahead and gently depress the like button. Make sure that you activate the subscribe button, and please make sure that you share this wonderful program with everyone across all social media platforms. See how I did that there? I could be diplomatic. But you can find me on Monday evenings on This Week in the UGA Football. There will be no show this week. I know my partner Colin and I were supposed to come on tonight, but he's still got family in town. We'll be back on Monday with a review of the Georgia Tech game, a look ahead to the SEC championship game against LSU and the Brian Kelly and the LSU Tigers. So that's where you can find me Tuesday nights. I am on Let's Talk Football, the round table, with my co-hosts, Mr. Nicholas I Want the Smoke Rosario and Delilah. This week in NFL history / diversity with Delilah Crespo. I do guest on occasion on this show, sometimes Thursday night on NFL Edition with Ben, Alec, and Alex. And I don't know. People are just starting to send me links and be like, "Hey man, come on and do this." The Spencer Rattler. Now you got me saying Spencer Rattler. Come on and do this. Come on and do this. Oh, I can do a great impression of Spencer Rattler. That's him trying to throw a pass. Yeah, they're like, come on and do the Shannon Sharp. So I got a couple other shows outside of LTF Network that I do also. You can hit us up. Oh my God, do we have a Twitter? I think anybody can be verified as our Twitter these days. Now you just need, for the price of $8, you can find us on YouTube at Zagnif Productions, ZAGNIF Productions. That's all I got. Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much, Alex. Appreciate y'all letting me be part of the show and goofing around with y'all for a little bit.
Anthony, thank you for coming on my show. Thank you for the plug, man. I appreciate it. And I will have your shows on our Ben Zone. Man, you guys do a great job on there. Give them a listen. I love listening to those guys. They bring such great knowledge. Every platform that Let's Talk Football, NFL Edition, this show, these guests, they bring it. So Anthony, again, thank you for coming on tonight.
We appreciate you having us on. Skip was sorry that he couldn't make it today, but he's still somewhere celebrating that his boys won yesterday. I think he tied on just a little bit too much. Now somewhere
he's on a bender somewhere.
Yeah, Stephen A. Smith is not happy about it at all. But I told him that maybe if he grew himself a real mustache instead of whatever that is he got on his lip, that maybe sometime he get a little bit of luck and the Dallas Cowboys would lose on Thanksgiving Sunday. But he just refuses to do it. He says something to the lines of, "I refuse to do that on the grounds that it goes against everything that I stand for, apathetically and systematically." He's like, you ever notice that Stephen A. Smith is Stephen A. Smith is like an adult version of somebody having a temper tantrum that's trying to do a Denzel Washington impersonation.
Yeah.
Like, how Denzel gets that finger going, "King Kong ain't got nothing on me." And then you go and you look on what is it, First Take, and then Stephen A. Smith, "So when are we going to talk about it?" They do that Denzel lip.
Yeah.
With that half a mustache. I gotta go, y'all. Thank y'all. I appreciate it.
All right, Anthony, man. We'll get you out of here. Thank you so much. And have a good night, man. Take care.
All right, man. See you.
All right.
Later, Anthony.
All right, guys. Man, Mr. Handy. He is so fun to have on here. If I could have him on every week, I would. I mean, he's always welcome here anytime. And guys, let's close it down real quick. Our last topic of the night, I mentioned earlier about wrestling. Tomorrow night's a big show. WWE Survivor Series War Games.
Okay.
So I just found out tonight that Becky Lynch is the 5th person on Team Bianca. So she's back. And
okay.
Yeah, so it's
wifey number 2. Kings gonna win.
Number 2.
Wifey number 2.
Well,
wifey number 1, top wrestling. So
okay.
So I can't really.
So real quick, anybody gonna watch tomorrow night?
I'm getting back into it, so I think I'll tune in, watch it tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be an interesting show because the War Games will be 2 cage matches. One for the men.
War Games matches are so fun.
Yes,
so fun.
Yeah, seen on NXT. On the women's side, as you know, Team Bianca as Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, Asuka, and
Mia Yim.
Mia Yim, yes. Yes. On one
I don't
side.
know much about her, but the other people on that team, wow.
Yes. And they're going up against Damage Control, Bailey, Dakota Kai, Io Sky, Nikki Cross, and Rhea Ripley. So that should be a very
That's an interesting team too.
Yes. So
I even know that Seth Rollins, Bobby Lashley, and Austin Theory, it's like a triple threat for the United States Championship.
I saw that. That'll be a really fun match.
Yes, that might steal the show, actually.
I think Austin's going to walk away with the title on that one.
You think so?
Yeah. Because I think I've been hearing that Cody's coming back soon. So I think they're going to run back Seth and Cody. As much as I don't think they should, I think they will. And then I think Bobby's going to go back for one last rubber match with Brock here. So then you don't really need the U.S. title in either of those feuds. So give it to Austin Theory. You've started this push with him the last couple of weeks. So continue it. Give him the belt. I don't know who he pins to take the belt. I could see Seth stomping Bobby or something like that, and then Austin throwing Seth out of the ring like they always used to do, and then pinning Bobby for it.
Or speaking of that,
go ahead.
Alex has a point. So remember how I went to the WWE Raw? It was like the Raw show like months back.
Mm-hmm.
Before the show ended, they had like a little quick because once it went off air, Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins had a match. And
one of those dark matches.
So no one else knew about this, but he said when the show's back in Norfolk, that's when he makes his return. So that he's gonna be out for a couple months. He didn't say exactly what was gonna happen, but he said he's gonna be back on the show in Norfolk when it comes to here in November, which is Monday.
Oh, no way!
Yeah,
I just thought he was. I just heard he was going back soon.
So,
that's it.
Like once it went off air, he said he's like, "Oh no, I'll be back here in Norfolk. I'm not gonna be here after the pay-per-view due to some certain situations." But after that, I'll be back here in Norfolk. I was like,
Jesus.
And that's all the injury. I was like,
that was such a brutal injury. I still don't know how he did that Hell in a Cell match.
That was probably match of the year right there too. The guy with did you see the pec? It was all black.
I saw it black down his fucking arm too.
Yeah, he still wrestles. Oh my god. That is a tough dude right there.
Yeah.
And also on his I think it was like some like hidden Twitter page, they spotted him in Virginia. He's actually here in Virginia
now. Okay. All right.
Well, tidbits. Real quick, not saying anything's guaranteed, but
yeah, on the triple threat match, I could see the screen go up, Brock Lesnar, and then Lashley just looks or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
see,
Brock does, yeah.
And I was thinking either Brock for Bobby or Cody comes back at the pay-per-view and screws Seth.
Oh, that could be. Yeah.
Show up, distract Seth, and then one of the other two takes the belt. Yeah. That's an interesting angle. Who do you guys got for those War Games matches?
I have Team Bianca, and then the other one I have. I don't know why I keep picking against them. It's gonna be the Usos. I don't know why I keep picking against them. They already know they're gonna let them win.
I actually disagree with that.
I mean, I want to pick the other team, but scriptwriters always don't have BS. They want
think about the script. Think about your scriptwriters though. If you're booking down the road, you can have the champions lose here without losing the belts, and then somebody's got to win over them to plan a match down the road.
Yeah, I was gonna say in the War Games match. See, here's the match. You got the Bloodline. You got Roman, you got the Usos. You got whatever their cousin's name is, and
Solo something.
Yeah, and then Sami Zayn.
Solo Sikoa.
Thank you.
Sikoa, yeah.
Sikoa,
in my opinion, I think Sami Zayn fucks a matchup for them. That's what I would think would happen.
Yeah, and then they're going to go up against the Brawling Brutes, which is Sheamus, Holland, and Butch, along with.
I still hate that they named him Butch.
I know.
I can't get over that.
It's just so weird.
Hunter didn't go back to Pete Dunne. That would have been perfect. But anyway, so yeah, Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens are in the match. Now, I'm going to go like you said, Alec, you came up with an interesting point. Sami Zayn will somehow screw something up and let the other team win. Now, here's an interesting thing here. No Way Out in February is in Montreal. Okay? Think about this. Sami Zayn's from Montreal. This is where I think the bloodline says, behind his back. Think about the booze they're going to get. Like, will automatically make Sami a baby.
Well, and then you can do Sami and Kevin versus the Usos for the tag titles at Mania.
WrestleMania, or something like that. Yeah, because Roman's going to be busy, maybe The Rock or whoever wins the Royal Rumble. So that's just something to keep in mind. Like, we're going to start to see that wind down.
The heel.
Yeah, Sami's just getting too popular. He's doing
so it's insane.
Yeah. So that's why I mentioned Montreal, because that's where they're going to be in February for the Way Out pay-per-view. So,
and another match to look forward to is, I'm not sure if you guys seen it, but Logan Paul went to Triple H and said, he pitched him an idea. He's like, do you want to break the internet at WrestleMania? He said he wants a match with John Cena.
Yeah.
So he wants to break the internet and have a match with John Cena.
Is he going to be ready in time? Because he has a knee injury.
Yeah. I saw that too.
I can't predict the future at all.
Okay. No, and that's good. That's a good thing, because we don't want to predict it. For years, it's been predictable. Go ahead, Alex. You got something?
I'm just throwing another theory out into the universe here, saying that the champions can lose without losing their belts here. What if, and I know we just had the match not that long ago at the UK pay-per-view there, what if Drew eliminates Roman, pins Roman, and then you set up for the Royal Rumble, you set up Drew versus Roman, and then if you want to do the Rock thing, it doesn't need to be for the title.
No.
So you have the Rock come back at the pay-per-view at the Royal Rumble, cost Roman the belt. Drew wins the belts there. He goes into WrestleMania as your champion, and oddly enough, Sheamus wins the Royal Rumble. You do Sheamus and Drew at WrestleMania.
Ooh, for both for the undisputed title?
No, because I think what you would do at that point is at one of these other pay-per-views, Sheamus costs Drew in a match and he drops one of the titles. So then you have, because you've got the two nights still, I think you've got to have two separate matches.
Yeah.
It's got to be two separate title matches, I think.
I was going to say, too, real quick, and I don't disagree with your theory. It's a pretty interesting theory, Alex. I would rather have Sami Zayn cost Roman the titles. Think about it, because he gets kicked out of the bloodline. He knows their secrets. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what they're thinking. And
I feel like Roman Reigns' title run ends soon. It's bound to happen. Not now, but it's going to happen down the road.
I want it to be Cody. Just because
I do too.
So much momentum. He came from AEW, then went to WrestleMania, had those great matches with Seth. The fans are really behind him. I mean, you could just tell he's the most popular. Right before he got hurt, there's nobody hotter in WWE than Cody Rhodes. So I think, and they want to get Roman to that 1,000-day mark with the titles too, I think.
Which isn't much longer.
I think it's another 4 or 5 months. So
is it that long?
Yeah. I think right now we're in like 800 days, I think, almost.
Okay.
800 days. So you got 200 days still. So that's about 6-7 months. So it's kind of right after WrestleMania.
But again, I was thinking, I think it's either gonna be the Rumble, WrestleMania, or SummerSlam. It's gonna be one of those massive pay-per-views.
Yeah. And if Cody can get that momentum back, which I think he can, I think he's the guy you got to go over Roman.
Now, and again, I know this is another one they played through in this line of Roman's reign here. What about Seth? He's a guy that's picking up a lot of steam right now. Like you hear when he comes into the arena, how they're singing along to his song and chatting. Yeah. And you still got that storyline of Roman's never beat Seth one-on-one. He hasn't done it. Yes. So you still got that storyline there.
But see, that's the thing too. They would want to have Roman finally do it, though. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so with Seth, I mean, you could because again, that could be one of those things where Triple H is smart enough to realize, like, okay, hey, we could use this as a storyline.
Yeah.
He's never beaten Seth. What if but we got to get Seth hot, like white hot, as a babyface. I think right now, if you put Cody and Seth, side by side, who would get the louder pop? I would probably say
Cody. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what they're thinking. Hunter's thinking about that. Like, God, who am I going to go with here? Because he wants to make sure, and this is the right move. He wants to make sure whoever beats Roman is made. He wants it to be that important because Roman's had the belts for 2 years. You don't want anybody to beat. You want somebody that
it's going to be a huge moment. Somebody's got to.
Yeah.
That's why me being a big Undertaker guy, I was so mad that they gave it to Brock. Brock did not need to beat the streak.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. But that was a Vince call. I'll go ahead, Alex. Go ahead.
So that Cody Rhodes thing,
Uh-huh.
It happened in June, right?
It was the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. Or right before it, like a day before he was training. He tore the pelvis.
So what if, another storyline, imagine he doesn't interrupt this pay-per-view or come back Monday. Imagine if Seth Rollins is the last two in the Royal Rumble. Because there's also rumors saying he could pop up at the Royal Rumble.
That's what I would do. Could you imagine the pop if he's a surprise at the Rumble?
Oh, yeah.
And then faces Seth Rollins, but he's like the last entry.
Yeah, have Cody come in number 30. Yeah.
Because it says 9 months. I'm guessing it was around June. That's around the same time frame as Royal Rumble.
9 months would be March, but
they'll probably put him I feel like they won't put him in a match. I feel like he'll probably distract him to lose in the Royal Rumble, which sets a WrestleMania match between those two.
Now, good. Here's the thing: is like if Cody doesn't win the Rumble, or say Seth doesn't win the Rumble, who does? I guess it kind of depends on what they do with the belts.
It's all dependent on who they push for a heel. That's usually how I usually.
Well, that's why I was thinking maybe Sheamus, or you could turn, because people like the Brawling Brutes right now. You could turn Drew heel.
You could, yeah, that's interesting.
I think he turned heel once before.
He came back as a heel, yeah.
See, that's where the conundrum is, and this is what I've said for years and years about the WWE before Triple H took over. They didn't make enough stars. They didn't make enough people you care about to go up against Roman. You know what I mean?
That's why you kept seeing 50-year-old Undertaker, 50-year-old Triple H, 50-year-old Goldberg.
That's why Naomi and Sasha left, because they had a point in why they left, because they had the titles and they weren't really used to defend them.
Right.
There was a face on the show. They didn't get that much competition in matches. So what's the point of us being here if we're just gonna just not defend our titles and actually go up in the women's tag team ranks? And then they said that they were done with it. It's just stuff like that. Why put them on the shelf and just let them be a face on the show when they can actually defend titles?
Especially two people that talented.
Yeah,
you push them that far just keep them there. That's why they left.
And that's the thing, guys. It's like a football team. Detroit Lions, for example. You know how they've been bad all along. No, I'm being serious. I'm trying to make a comparison. You got a new guy, Triple H, coming in. Look at the mess he has to clean up.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen overnight. He's got to build it up. Get these guys.
What he's done already is insane.
Yeah,
so impressive.
And yes, he's had a few misses there, but everybody does. Yep. So it's good though, because we don't know. And that's what makes this fun for me at least. We don't know. It's unpredictable who's going to be that guy that's going to, where we're going the next 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, AEW, I'll give them credit. They know where they're going now. They got MJF champion. They planned it out for a while. And that's what.
Which is about damn time for me, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh, I know another person
Yeah, go ahead.
It's a sneaky one. Bray Wyatt.
No, don't.
Yeah, it's too early. They got something
Yeah.
going right now. I think he's got something going with LA Knight right now. And then
Yeah, he's got.
You've got to build up
I
this
want them to
faction
fight.
they're talking about.
I want them in the match so badly. LA Knight versus Bray Wyatt.
I think
After
it'll
that
happen.
episode of Raw, where he smacked him twice. I was like, "You're barking the wrong tree. You're barking the wrong tree."
No, you got to play Bray, right? Especially, look at what the guy went through with the bad creative he was given.
Yeah,
got to build him up better. Like
no, I'm not saying like now. I'm saying like down the road as a future heel.
Yeah, you got to wait at
like
least
10 months, 11 months
before you can get him into the big time.
I'm thinking around SummerSlam. Yeah. Let him have a couple feuds to really build himself up, build that story up, and then
What
happened to that one female, the one that was like the Marine?
Oh, Lacey Evans. She's been on and off. I don't know what they do with her because that was Vince. She's a babyface one week. She's a heel the next.
Mm-hmm.
What is she? What's her character? You don't know.
I haven't seen Charlotte Flair. I haven't seen.
Now Charlotte got hurt, didn't she?
Oh no, she took time off. She got married to Andrade and then is doing some other stuff. But they're saying
Blatch is gone for a while. Fuck her.
Yeah, let some other people shine on TV. Yeah,
I could see her come back tomorrow night. Ronda Rousey against Shotzi.
Do we have to do Charlotte and Ronda?
I don't either, but I could. It's just right now I could see it only because
if Vince was in charge, I could see it for sure.
Because Charlotte did lose the title to Ronda in May, so
that's right.
So maybe there's a result. Finish the program and then go from there. So, well, anyway, guys. Go ahead, real quick, Alec.
I will say, ever since Vince took over, the pay-per-views have been getting better. Like the last pay-per-view. When Triple H took over, the last pay-per-view when Bray Wyatt came out, that shit was.
That was so well done. That was so well done.
And I feel like it's one of those things where, it could be a thing where they have a Cody Rhodes pop out, not really interfere, like try to pop his face and then pop it out. But I'm not sure if that's kind of it'd be even worth doing that if he's just gonna show his face.
No, you gotta do it big with him.
I say Rumble. Rumble's the perfect place to do it. And real quick, go on YouTube. They showed Rhea and Dominic go to the Mysterios.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and he beat up his father in the house.
God, are you serious?
It's literally the dumbest heel I've ever seen in my life. It's literally the dumbest heel.
I don't get that whole faction there. I don't. I don't get it.
Judgment Day is literally the most dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
And see, I'm a big fan of Finn Balor, big fan of Rhea Ripley, but it's just like, what are we doing here?
Well, they put Edge in that group. It worked good, and then they
turn on him,
which I didn't get. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap this thing up. I want to thank both of you for coming on tonight. Alex, thank you so much for coming on. And where can we find you, bud?
Oh, first off, thanks for having me on. This was a lot of fun. You can find me Thursday with these guys and Johnny Dean on the NFL edition, 9 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Mountain. You can find me Friday nights, most Friday nights with Andrew and Sid Swinton and Christopher Warchuk on North Sports Dynasty. Whenever there's stuff that I am good at talking about, I will hop on there. There will be some weeks where I'm in and out, but so far, pretty consistent there. Hoping to come be regular with you guys on here because it's a lot of fun. And then you can catch me Saturday mornings with Mr. Sean Spencer for Let's Talk College Football at 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Mountain. It's an early start for me, where we talk everything college football, including the game tomorrow, which I'm still extremely nervous about.
Okay. No, I don't blame you. This is going to be a fun game. So
yeah. Also, I got a little surprise for tomorrow. I've got an interesting signed Michigan jersey that I'm going to show on the show tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I'm going to tune in for that. And
Yeah.
Anybody that, I'll tell you what, since he's like in and out, Jason would definitely love you going in and out. Anyway.
I knew as soon as I said that, I was just like, fuck, why did I say that?
Well, speaking of Jason Suede, let's go to his sailor here. Alec, where can we find you?
The bedroom ostrich.
Besides Jason's house, where can we find you?
Okay. Now we're doing
In the don't worry about electricity like my fire Amish porno.
Yeah, check him out. Yeah. It's
You
interesting.
can find me here on
Taylor
Fridays.
Swift.
You can find me here on Fridays. I'm not sure how it's going to be next Thursday, because I'm not sure how my work schedule is going to be like. But mostly I'll be here on. You can find me on Thursday on NFL Edition with Alex, Johnny, and Ben. You can find me on the show on Friday on the Ben Zone with Ben or Alex if he shows up. Due to scheduling. Yeah.
All right, guys. Everybody, I want to say thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Again, thank Anthony for coming on, popping in here. Watch it, Jason. So, guys, thank you so much. And I will be back here. I think we'll do a post-game show, maybe Sunday night or Sunday afternoon. I'll let you guys know, give you more details on that in the next day or two. And with that being said, thanks everybody for commenting and watching the Ben Zone here on Football Friday. So, guys, have a good night, and we will see you later. Take care.